chew on a piece of your magic pie. You know I chew on a piece of your magic pie.
Never look back over his shoulder. Cross the county line, even bolder.
Hello, I'm Notes, and Magic Pie just dropped their 4th studio album on us over the weekend, King for a Day. For me, they made a name from their last studio release, The Suffering Joy. Granted, I really only heard the one song or the one piece from that album of life's work. I never really got to engage myself with the other pieces from that album, but really, why would you need to when the life's work is such an amazing piece of music? If you haven't already had a listen to it, do so right now. We're getting pretty much the same thing here for King for a Day, but it's not quite that same level of epic. It's not that same level of like that breathtaking finish. So let's dive in and have a really good look for King for a Day. The album has 3 shorter pieces around the 5 to 6 minute mark, which are nice enough. They break up those longer movements that are kind of between them and give us a nice breath of fresh air. None of them are really worth writing home about, but they never make me want to change the song or fast forward or skip it either. There's just nothing really to get into, but they're nice enough. Between these shorter tracks, we have 2 12-minute pieces. We have Introversion and we have Tears Gone Dry. Both are good enough, and like any good 12-minute prog song, they have their rises and their falls, the introduction of themes, and revisiting of those themes. And I will admit, I love the fact that they're true to form. They know what they want to do, and they do it well. So at least we know what we're going to get into, and in that sense, it's really nice. It's nice to know what you're going to get and get it. So looking at one of these longer tracks, we have Introversion. And I like how it's a commentary on dealing with people in our society, both on an individual level as well as on a grander scale. It's kind of like an expansion of the old phrase, good fences make good neighbors. Not necessarily being willfully blinded about people and, taking a standoffing, but just being more selective, I suppose. Not getting into other people's businesses that you really have no part of. It's an interesting concept in today's technology-crazed society where we're always in everybody else's face, especially with Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all those other social media. It's kind of being summed up in the less I know about you, the more I'll like you, kind of an idea. Or at least that's the beginning part of this song, but it also kind of shows the weakness of this on both sides by inadvertently secluding yourself from others. So, like anything else, it's all about balance. With the ending of the song, it really kind of brings the song home with just because I'm quiet and I'm staying out of your business and I want you to stay out of mine, that doesn't mean that I'm still not here for you when you need me. Don't take my quietness for disinterest. And with any great prog song of today, it's that ending that really clenches it for me. The first half is all about the setup. It's got the noodling around, it's got those big epic sounds and that grand scale of thing, but then around that mid-mark, everything kind of drops down, everything kind of falls apart, and the remaining part of the song is just building it back up to that really great climax.
Hold on, brother. I'm still here for you when I ain't going anywhere. It'll be alright. I know the rules of wishful thinking, hand in hand.
Unfortunately, after a few repeated listens, it does become a little bit stale. I feel like it could have been a little bit more grand, especially at that end piece, and a bit more hard-hitting, but instead they just kind of pulled back. Maybe they're taking a page out of that Introversion. The other 12-minute piece is Tears Gone Dry. This song is a little bit more hard-hitting, especially in music and theme, as it's a reflection of somebody whose loved one has committed suicide. Now this is a pretty touchy subject, so it really needs to be handled delicately. And I'm still kind of on the fence at the moment of whether or not they did so. The song is darker, both on tone and on lyrics, and it's got a deeper sound kind of as a bottom of the song. And coupled with this, I like that it's got this guitar work that's always kind of hitting those higher notes. So the two are really at odds with one another, and it creates a really creepy effect. So throughout the song, we have this character who's mourning the loss of somebody that he loves, and they're in anguish, they're in turmoil, they don't know how they're going to survive themselves, to the point where they even start considering suicide themselves, saying, "Soon I'll be at your side." Never a big fan of this sentiment, guys. It's not heartwarming, and it's always a dangerous thought, and whenever somebody starts to put that forward, I always start to take a step back. I'm like, whoa, are we really going to start talking about that now? I mean, overall, the music is still pretty good. It's still pretty happening. I'm not sure if it really captures the full gamut of emotions that the lyrics are trying to paint here. I like the darker tones of the music, and I like that coupling with that higher piece, with that guitar work, so props to that. But yeah, that's really all I can say about those two harder, longer tracks on here. And again, those three other shorter tracks, there's not really too much to write home about, outside of the fact that they're energetic, they're fun, and I mean, they are a good listen. Okay, so getting then to the big epic finale, that final song, the title track, King for a Day, the 27-minute epic. Remember how I asked you to listen to a life's work? It's very similar to that. It's just got a little bit less oomph. The actual musicianship on this album is what draws me to this band. They are phenomenal. They really know what they're playing, and it is really a treat to listen to. It has some amazing noodling around on that guitar, very similar to Dream Theater, I would say, but never quite getting into the metal territory, nor getting into that euphoric area that John Petrucci can really hammer home. So we do have the usual rise and fall, the build-ups and the payoffs, and a great ending. If nothing else, the song provides us with a great conclusion that we're come to expect with anything that's over 20 minutes. I'm starting to feel like a broken record here, guys. But yeah, I mean, as a broken record still going, there doesn't really seem to be too much to write home about on this song either. I really enjoy what's on it, and I won't skip it. And unlike a lot of 20+ minute songs out there, it doesn't actually feel all that long. I think the biggest drawback to this whole work of A King for a Day is that it doesn't have any lasting effect on me. But having said all of that, it is still a really good album. It's just not a great album. I can recommend this to anyone who loves bands like Spock's Beard or Transatlantic. Heck, I'd even go so far as to say if you like Dream Theater, give these guys a try. And that's it. What did you guys think about it? Did you have a listen to it? If you haven't, again, check it out and let me know what you think. And that's it for me. Notes out.